everyone. I don't like the way the room is cold. The way everybody is just very quiet. For people that are sitting at the back, if you don't mind coming forward so we can engage with you guys. We are all young people here. Please let us show them that we can be loud. Good morning, sir. So good to see you in person. All right, let's get right into it. So, we're going to be introducing our first panel of the day, and it is the Influencers Shaping the Narrative panel. For our first person, I'm going to be introducing once again Mr. EROMZ ADENE. So I'm expecting the projection to please project his bio.
EROMZ ADENE, also known as EROMZ, is a passionate Nigerian social entrepreneur and founder of ADENE, short for A Better Nation in Our Lifetime. From November 2021 to January 2023, he led the PVC Waka initiative, reaching over 500,000 people across 5 states to combat voter apathy and promote civic engagement. Beyond voter education, EROMZ offered the VES Guide and is launching the UESS project to equip undergraduates with business, career, and leadership skills. His work inspires youth across Nigeria, and through ADENE, his team of over 100 volunteers is committed to driving lasting change in the country.
All right. So we're expecting another person on this panel, but I'm going to introduce him before he comes so they can display his bio so that you can know what to expect from him today. So the next person is Mr. Maurice Monnier. Please, can you also... Yes, you can clap, clap, clap.
Maurice Monnier is a leader committed to empowering Nigerian youth through financial inclusion, political advocacy, and mentorship. As founder of More Credit Limited and Crisp Agro Limited, he provides financial access to underserved groups. A key advocate during the 2023 elections, Maurice supported Peter Obi and advised the Lagos gubernatorial candidate Gbadebo Rhodes Vivour, promoting youth engagement and transparency in governance. Through mentorship, he inspires young Nigerians to excel and actively shape the nation's future.
All right. Everybody, please give a round of applause to our
EROMZ
panelists.
Maurice Monnier is a leader committed.
Thank you so much, projection. All right, so we are here with our first panelist, Mr. EROMZ, like he likes us to call him. So, can I please have another mic for him so we don't have to pass this? All right, so we'll just start while they get that ready. So we understand, first of all, from knowing you and knowing your person, how bold you are to come out and talk about the things concerning the nation and everything. However, there are some of us who cannot come outside because we are scared or we know the implications of what that might, cause. So we are just taking it, we are being lax, we don't really talk much. We're just saying, it go better, oh, now wow. When they tell you the price of things in the market, you say, now wow, Tinubu has started again, oh. But you don't want to come outside to talk. Can you just say something to just inspire young people to be very vocal about what they believe?
Okay, thank you. That's actually a really important question. For me, I think the best way I can answer this, I don't like answering it like this, but I think we have to at this point. I'm not trying to sound like a savior, right? I'm not trying to sound like a messiah. But the truth of the matter is, do we need to wait until things get worse before we do something? I put out a tweet yesterday, and I think by tweet standard, it went viral. And I was like, on the morning of swearing in, fuel was how much per liter? I think it was 197 per liter, and dollar was 400 and something. On the morning of swearing in, we never do two Christmas. We've not done two Christmas. So, at what point will things get before we realize that we need to sit up and do something? If I can do this, and when I say if I can do this, I mean if I can still do nation building or civic sensitization, I don't think anyone else has any excuse. And I say this with the most humble feeling ever. Let me go down memory lane. Do you understand? In 2020, some of you are aware what happened during NSAS with the abduction and everything. First of all, even I can see one of my brothers here was really active as well. Please give me a round of applause, please. I like to support my fellow heroes. See, he's here today. He's always been doing this. On the protest, at the protest ground, we're sleeping there every day. He was also sleeping there. We would only leave to take our bath and come back. We're holding the fort, they call it now. We're just holding ground. It was dangerous that time because there were times at night that they could have come and do their thing. After that happened, they put some of us on a watch list. For those who were arrested, like me, kept underground, kept in pits. I don't think I've found the reason to talk about the abduction, right? But yes, kept in pits, kept underground. And I was eventually released. Thank God people were shouting, free EROMZ and all of that. And things didn't really change. Because almost every other day, even till like I think 2 months ago, I still wake up to blocked accounts. They're still watching. They're threats. As a matter of fact, I think I said this one time on Twitter, and when it went viral, I just deleted the tweet. After like 1 hour, I didn't want to talk about it. I turned down multiple asylums to stay back in Nigeria. What that means is, if I want to travel out of Nigeria today, if I want to Japa, I won't spend 1 kobo. I will leave the country. But we are here, despite everything, and we are still chasing nation building. They know this is what we do. And by they, I mean the powers that be, past and present. They know that these guys, this is what they do. They don't really have anything that gingers them. I don't like leaving my house. But you see, this LGES conference, I will happily leave my house for events like this. Not to make anybody feel scared, but my point is, if you are not on a watch list, if you cannot get easily picked up just as you are walking on the road, if you have not been in a pit before, if you've not been on the ground, then you have no excuse to be scared. You have no excuse to be scared. Some of us are now liver with the use enter road. Even my brother here too. Now liver with the use enter road. And we are doing this with our faces out there. The LGES project, the videos we are doing, is not voiceover. My face is there. And they know what we are coming for. We are coming for good leadership. We want good people who have integrity in power. And until young people realize what we are up against, we are going to keep suffering. If you doubt your power, I was not popular on any social media like that before the answers happened, right? I was just one voice who believed that a good Nigeria is possible, and see what everything has become today. I don't still want to believe I'm an influencer in any way, but I have the brains and the capacity to say, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, and let's go about it this way. And then things happen on a national scale. Everybody here has that capacity. I'm not special. It's not as if now only misfitting calm. In your own space, I'm not saying you should look forward to your own abduction, but in your own space, you can do something. Do you understand? Okay, you don't want to go all out. You have someone on your street that listens to you. You have your gate man that listens to you. You have probably your neighbor that listens to you. You have some form of influence. Believe it or not, you don't need followers on social media. Even if you have, then that's a plus. Do you understand? So, if you are scared and you say, now, wow, and you say, when will things change? Newsflash, things will not change. Because as the country is getting worse, certain people are benefiting from it. You need to understand, though. As dollar is 1,600, some people that stole $50,000 some 4 years ago when dollar was 200 and something, they are cashing out, though. And these people have dollars in pits. They have dollars kept in their rooms. If dollar hits 5,000, does it not favor them? But does it favor us? Because we're already talking about inflation. If dollar hits 5,000, everything that we are complaining about will go times 3, times 4. Liter of fuel will hit 4,000. So is it until it gets to that stage? So there's really no excuse. We need to sit up. We need to start taking action, which is one of the reasons why we're starting this conference, the first of its kind, town hall meetings for millennials and Gen Zs. I look forward to, I know I don't want to answer another question, but let me just say this. I look forward to a situation where wherever they are holding town hall meetings across Nigeria, young people turn up. This is just a town hall meeting for us to get used to town hall meetings. This is just like, okay, this is how it feels. Town hall meetings, they know they plenty. But guess what? If you watch my videos, I think I spoke about it in one of the videos. They would pass paper around, people that attend town hall meetings. Write out what you need. And they will write out what they need. And it will be taken to their representative that will then supply what they need. And the caliber of people that attend determines what is sent. So if it's market woman that is attending, she will not ask for fiber optics cable or free internet. It's the truth. She will ask for grinding machine. The man who is a wheelbarrow asks for a better wheelbarrow. And when the reps provide all those things, all of us on social media will now be screaming, which kind, what, did they cause African leaders? Why were you not there to write out your own need? Why were you not there to seek accountability? So, like I said, we have no excuse. We really have no excuse, but we will get it done.
All right. So basically, what EROMZ is saying is that there is no easy way to go about it. It takes boldness to just step out and make a case. Talk to people. You might not have the numbers on social media. You might not have the boldness to carry plaques and go to the front of Tinubu's White House, right? And shout at the top of your voice. But you can talk to the person by your side. You can talk to the person that you meet on the road. You can talk to the people at your office. Just find a way to influence people around you. Thank you so much for that. So the next question, you've kind of answered it already. However, I'll still ask it so that you can, double down on it. So how can we, as young people, do things from the grassroots level? You've already talked about us going for town hall meetings, but can you really go deeper into it and as to how we can effect change from the grassroots as young people? Okay, you have yours.
So the answer to this is a really long talk, but I'm just going to try and keep it brief. Number one, we need to disconnect our minds first from the idea that grassroots is for poor people. Grassroots is for uneducated people. Grassroots is for people that do not have good jobs. We are the grassroots. Grassroots is basically, it's just like how you have a continent, and then you have countries, and then you have, within the countries, you have states, and you have local governments. Do you understand? It's just basically breaking it down. So we are grassroots. And then together we make up a community, together we make up a local government, then a state, and all of that. So we are the grassroots. It's not for poor people, it's not for uneducated people. So whenever they call for a town hall meeting, we have to attend. There are town hall meetings that happen in every local government, and we have to start attending them. So that's number one. Number two, which I mentioned earlier, we have to understand that every one of us has influence. Maybe until you realize that some people's children's school fees is about 5,000, 10,000, and if you pay for one person's school fees, the way they adore you, maybe that's when you understand the influence you have. But it doesn't need to get to that. But if you can, please try it. I remember there was a time, my mom is here. Please help me welcome her. It must take a lot to go from shouting free EROMZ to the EROMZ still doing this thing. Thank you so much for giving me the freedom to do this too, and for the support. Because really, without her support, we wouldn't be anywhere close to this. Without my family's support. So, as I was saying, I was in Ekiti. I had gone to a remote area some years ago with my dad. Yeah, I'd gone to a remote area. I think we went to pray or something. And we were just having lunch. And there was this guy, this young chap, probably wasn't up to 10 or 11. And he was there playing around in the canteen. Why are you playing? You should be in school. He said, we don't have money for school fees. I was just listening when someone was asking him, we don't have money for school fees. Say money for school fees. Actually, your mama do one or two these things. Say, they don't increase school fees. And I was just listening. The conversation went into how much is your school fees? The boy now said 3,000. I'm like, 3,000? Plate of rice and chicken. Now you know this school. I didn't say it out, but I just put my hand into my pocket, called him, gave him that, and said, I don't want to see you here tomorrow. You must go to school. Do you understand? I wasn't doing that for praises. But if I had done that, maybe I had political intentions. Oh, I have become king by now for that Ekiti. And as funny as that sounds, that's the truth. The little cash that you have, people need it. If you can help, help. That's another way to grow influence. That's how our politicians are keeping a lot of people in bondage. Just give them 500, 1,000, 500, 1,000. If all of us decide to do 500, 1,000, we will do inflation for them. Where their 500, 1,000 will not work again. So they have to do 2,000, and then we'll match it. And then they'll have to do 5,000, and we'll match it. This is, I think I'm already going to another discussion entirely. But like I said, it's a long conversation, right? So that's another way we can get involved in the grassroots. You have influence. And if you can help people around you, try and help them. Right? That's also another way that you grow into them liking you. The last one I would mention, how do I put this in the way that it will not be posted on social media without people dragging me? Not like I care, but sometimes when people drag you, they miss the message. We must know where town hall meetings are being held and attend it, whether or not we belong to that party. Because now town hall meetings have morphed into a party meeting, where it ought to be ward meetings, right? But then they will say, is this party's meeting? Is this party's meeting? You must not attend. There's a reason why they call us coconut head. Are we no more coconut head? Enter. Do they want to say you should not attend? You don't have your party's card. I'm still in the process of registry. Enter. Join it. Listen. See. And this will lead me to the last point. When they start to see young people, they will become more conscious of what it is they do. All the nonsense that they will do it less or maybe even stop. Then, leading to the next point, we need to flow with the people. As I'm talking like this, if you ever go with me to a local conference, you will not hear this accent. It's pidgin, all true. And I will not go looking like I have $5 million in my account. I'll wear short neck. I love shorts. So you need to understand that when you're going for these meetings, you don't want the people you are trying to blend with to feel like you're not a part of them. This one is so you don't go there speaking shoo. No, you don't go there looking I'm better than you. No, you need to be able to stay with them, blend with them, and then you're good to go.
Thank you so much. So, in summary, let me just try to like cap all that you said. Number one, we should try to attend town hall meetings. Number two, to be able to effect the influence that we need in the society, we need to be able to match the politicians' level, right? If they are giving people money, you should as well be able to. It does not matter how small, just try as much as possible to help people around you. That way, they don't see these people as messiahs in a way. Number three, also, when you're attending town hall meetings, don't go there looking bougie. I'll probably go there with my bonnet and my shorts, right? So I can look like one of them, right? Exactly. Thank you so much for that. So, this question is not one of the questions I was supposed to ask you, but I will ask you anyway. Don't be scared. All right. So, can you tell us what the realities of the local government area is? Of the local government is, and just basic things that we need to know as young people. There are a lot of us here that don't even know the local government chairman of our local government areas. What do you have to say about that? Just generally speak about what the local government is like and why we should be involved in the local government activities.
Okay. I want everyone here to realize the power of the local government, and I'm going to try and explain it in the layman's terms. There are certain things that when you go into a country as a body or as probably even a president of another country, you can't do certain things in that country because that country has a president who is the executive of the country, right? Then you have states where the governor is the executive of the states. And a lot of times the president can't tell him what to do. We've seen it multiple times where governor and president, they're fighting. And the governor within a state, he wins because he has the executive power of that state. It's the same thing with the local government. The local government chairman is the executive of his local government. He can tell the governor, I'm not going to do this. And the governor cannot do anything about it. I don't know. Is anyone here hearing this for the first time? No, okay. Maybe our online viewers who, we have a lot of 9 to 5 that follow us and then they ask for, streaming link, which is why we put this up. The local government chairman is very, very powerful. He does not have immunity. What that basically means is if he steals money today and you report him, EFCC can come and pick him tomorrow. They will not wait for his tenure to finish. So it's easy to even hold them accountable. They are very powerful, though. They don't need to report to the governor on how they spend the funds from the federal government, the 300, 400 million every month. That does not include internally generated revenue. For example, some places in Lagos, because we are in Lagos, if you park on the road, those boys will come and collect money. That's internally generated revenue. Where does the money go to? Do you understand? So these guys are making money and they choose to spend it how they want to spend it. So we have to.
So you're saying that apart from the money that the federal government gives them, they have internally generated revenue.
They have a lot of internally
there's a lot of money flowing around that we don't even know.
There are some local government chairmen that I know that when they finish their 4 years tenure or 8 years tenure, they live with cars and houses. They build the houses how they want to their tastes. Imagine how many people that thing would have fed or that money would have served. If they even buy a house, if you can say, okay, maybe the city room is small. No, if they want big city room, they will get the big. So back to what I was saying. So within ourselves, right, we should also take it as an assignment to understand the functions of the local government so we know where to hold them accountable. The president might be doing horribly or he might be doing his best or he might even have the best president ever. But if your local government is not functioning, the president, as much as, let's imagine the president has goodwill. I'm not saying he does not have goodwill, but facts say otherwise. But let's imagine he has goodwill and he wants to build hospitals in every state, how many states can he build hospitals in? How fast can it go? It might take him 3-4 years to execute it, but the local government chairman can take him months if he's serious. So even if the president means well and wants to do good in, say, even agriculture or primary education or medicine, it will take him a long time for him to be able to execute his heart desires. But if the local government is functioning and they have a good chairman and they have good ward councillors, we are good to go. We might not even, like I explained earlier in the opening speech, we might not need to really feel a lot of things that we're currently feeling in the economy.
Okay. So you're saying basically we should not downplay the power of the local government? Don't downplay it. Great. So please, guys, I want you guys to start putting together your questions. If you have any questions to ask him, please start putting them together so that you can ask your questions. And I don't want a situation whereby I'll call for questions and I'm seeing that nobody has questions. I hope everybody is already putting out their questions.
You pass the mic around.
Yes. And if you don't, I'll come and give you the mic one by one. Don't try me.
I can do that for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have heard from the moderator. You've also heard from our distinguished guests. Please, questions are essential, very, very essential. Doesn't matter how shy you are. No one's going to be looking at your face. What we care about are those amazing questions you have for us. All right? Okay. Beautiful woman, lady. You look amazing, by the way. Please, your name and your question. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabella ADEDIJI. My question is about...
Before you go on, let me report her. I didn't even know you were back in Nigeria. Welcome.
Please don't
She was supposed to be on
me.
this influencer panel, but she told me last minute, I'm not sure I'll be in Nigeria. And yes, she is. She's supposed to come and join. Let's put her on the hot seat too.
Ladies and
Come
gentlemen,
and join
please,
us.
please, madam, thank you.
We
We can usher you, please. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for her now. Come on now. Don't worry, there'll be light refreshments. Please. Clap for her now. She's not there yet.
So just
Thank you
to
so
briefly
much.
introduce her, she's an amazing woman doing amazing things. There was a time when the Commissioner of Lagos State demolished some houses, and I think Magodo, right, that went viral. So she was one of the people whose houses were demolished. Right, so since then she's been a really vocal voice, speaking good governance. She's always been, but that was like an elevation for her, to give her more platforms to, be able to speak her mind on good governance. So she's a really amazing person. Please, thank God she's in Nigeria. I'm not telling you were around because of something like this. But please just put your hands together for her one more time.
Okay, so hello. Yeah. Okay. So you want to ask your question first?
So it has to do with this local government meetings, because I remember when you did a video and I asked, they don't put the information online. So how do we go about finding out where these things are happening? And then as young people, we have the internet, we can leverage it. So if they are not putting it out online, is it possible that once we get the info, we make it go viral, that everybody is going, storming these local government meetings? Because sometimes people don't know where to start from. For me, I want to be more involved because I've seen firsthand how, if you don't really pay attention to these things, it can happen to you. Like the demolition, you can't tell me that our local government chairman was not aware. And to put it into context, this Koshofe, which is just here, Mende, this is Maryland. So Mende Villa is just down the road. And it's a young person. It's somebody that I've met before, the local government chairman. So I'm wondering, if he knows this is what is going to happen, or he is as powerful as you've said, what did he do to say, okay, guys, I know the commissioner has come. I'm getting info. This is going to happen. This is the plan I have for you. Or I'm making sure that now that this has happened, we're going to make sure that they give you the necessary permits. Because with the Mende Villa thing, they've demolished it, and it took months before the government even came and said, okay, this is the line, so you can build a fence. Till now, there are houses that were not demolished, but they are exposed because the government took its sweet time before it came back to say, okay, this is what you need, the permits. And for me, it's really worrisome because are you not thinking about the lives and property of the people who, quote and unquote, didn't do the wrong thing? If you want to say we did the wrong thing and you've demolished our houses, that's fine. But those ones who are still there, are you thinking about the children, the women, the people living with disabilities, the old people, the working people? How are you protecting their lives and property when you're just taking your sweet time? And it's going to cost a lot of money to erect a fence to protect that estate. If this government was thinking, couldn't the local government chairman go on our behalf to go and meet the commissioner, the governor, to say, okay, you need to do this demolition, but how about giving them time to put the necessary things in place? Give people time to park. Give the people who are in that estate to erect another fence. And that way, you're thinking about us. You're not thinking about us now because a lot of people have spent money. Mende Villa residents are still paying a lot of money for extra security because the entire at the back to the drainage, that is system one. So for me, it's how, if I knew about these local government meetings, maybe I would have been going since. So I think that's the cocoa that a lot of people want to know, because a friend of mine said, oh, she wants to go and join party because this, like, we need to do something. And I said, well, where is it happening? She said she'll find out and she'll let me know. And I'm sure most people here, just by a show of hands, who knows where this local government, if you know, will bring this microphone to you. So I think all of us, I think I'm speaking on behalf of everyone.
Okay. So your first question is, how do we know? Sorry, I'm typing it down. How do we know? You're actually correct. A lot of these things are not online, but the information is everywhere. It's now a question of, wait. Do you know that there are some popular skit makers that I'm sure most of us know on either Instagram or Twitter, but when they enter into some community, nobody knows them? Are you aware? Like, they are very popular with millions of followers, but when they enter into community, nobody knows them. It's just a matter of the information that is being passed is circulating around a particular place. It will not go out of that place. If you are, like the influencers I spoke about, their fame is only circulating around social media. It's not circulating outside of it. So until they bring that fame outside of it, no one in communities would know them. What I mean, or what I'm trying to say is this. The information is circulating within the communities, the grassroots, like we call them. But if you are not there, we will hear. Fun fact, the first time I met Gbadebo, that's GRV, he will be here soon for his panel. The first time I met him, he was running for local government chairman. He had not even contested. I think they were still contesting. But he was in Kowa. I went for a town hall meeting at his near Computer Village some years ago. This was like 8 years ago. And that's how I met him. I saw him on the stage with some people. We didn't even talk that time. But from there, I got to keep in touch with him. And then today he's doing good stuff. But a lot of us are only seeing him because he came out for governor. If I didn't go for that town hall meeting where the information was circulating, I wouldn't have met him. I wouldn't have known him. So a lot of things are actually going on there. Until we enter there, ask your security. Ask the woman that sells plantain on the road. Ask the woman that sells food on the road, because they live there. Most of them live there. They don't come from far. They know all these things. Relate with them. When you buy a plantain, 2,000, give 200 naira difference. Don't price. Add 200, add 500. You want to be in their good books. This information will not go online unless we take it online, which is why we are doing the LGES project. I go and research. You don't even want to know where my team and I go to get information from. Then we put that information into 2 minutes because our audience have short attention span. And then we release the information. And sometimes when we are recording, EROMZ, you're not talking fast, talk fast. Okay. But the point is, you need to go in there, take the information and put it online. Like when your friend, if she's able to speak with the guys that own shops, the women that sell stuff, the security men, she will get the information. You guys too can do that. You get information to know where all these town hall meetings are happening. Then the question of the local government chairman, two things. Number one, accountability. Number two, capacity. Number one, accountability. If people in Mende that was demolished do not have a good relationship with the local government chairman, and without them, he will still win an election, he's not going to do anything. Because I already know that people in Mende don't vote. I'm sorry. The well-to-do people in Mende don't vote. I know. I have records of the results, the local government results. Like I said, we have gone far and wide to get statistics. So and funny enough, if he competes again, he might win that same Mende. If he contests again. So if he does not find any reason to be accountable to you, why should you be expecting good governance from him? So that's why I said, if we start to attend town hall meetings, they see our faces, they know that things are changing. We are not just 4 people tweeting in a room. If you know where I got that start from, it was a politician that said it. 4 people tweeting in a room. And that was one of the reasons why I said this election, I must ensure that we set up team across at least 5 states in Nigeria. And we did in like 8 states. Because that's an insult to young people. 4 people tweeting in a room with how Nigeria is going, they're calling us 4 people tweeting in a room. Whether or not you even support a candidate or not, that was an insult. So if many people and other people that are also suffering these things, if they can see this as an insult and start to seek accountability from local government chairman, things will change. The other one is capacity. There's a local government chairman in Nigeria. We went to school together. I think he's still serving, or maybe he has left. He used to come to my room when we were in school, because I was a popular guy. He used to come to my room sometimes 2 a.m. to come and disturb me. When he entered office and I started this, I became popular. I've been doing nation building since 2017. So when he saw this was the line I was in, and I tried to hold meetings with him, he wouldn't answer me. I never really tried at least. I just tried once or twice to reach out. And then for this conference, I reached out to him multiple times. He didn't answer me. But until he sees that if I say, "Are you running again? Because of me, you will lose," he will not pay us attention. And I'm going to do that. I'm sure he will watch this. I'm going to do that. Because it's an insult that we are calling you to come and, okay, show us that you have capacity. Show us that you are ready to lead. And if you don't have capacity, we'll put someone else that has capacity. And by saying we, I don't have the money to do it. Or young people, you and I, will take the initiative and put young people that have capacity in there that are ready to be accountable. If you don't have capacity, how would you know that there will be a demolition and you will not do anything about it? That's people's livelihoods. People have worked years. Probably when they bought the house, it was 10 million naira. Now it's hundreds of millions. Where are they going to get that money from? There's going forward, I'm going to say this, but going forward into this session, or into this program, you would understand why I'm saying this. There needs to be repercussion for leaders who say they wouldn't be held accountable, who wouldn't appear for things like this. There needs to be repercussion, or nothing will change.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, EROMZ. So we are going to have another panel that is going to really double down on how to get accountability and how to get information. We have a CSOs panel specifically to target that. All right. So do we have any other questions?
Any questions, please? All right. Thank you, beautiful lady. Your name and your question.
Good afternoon, Mr. EROMZ. My question goes this. Considering how the last election went, and there's been like this political apathy among the youth and everyone, but we saw people coming out for the last election, but then the results kind of dashed their hope, and they were like, okay, I'm coming out now. I saw things about the election. I'm yet to end my voice, vote, try to make my vote count. But now I'm doing that, but the result is not showing. Some people decide to just go back and be like, I'm not doing this anymore. But then it's the first time for some people to come out to vote and do that. So what strategies do you think can be put in place to let them come out the next election? And apart from that, even coming out for elections, they put the federal and state elections above the local government ones. They don't even care about that. But they seem to forget that governance starts from the grassroots. Yes. Everything needs to work in line together. We have 3 tiers of government, not 2. So we need the federal, state, and local to work together. If one is not working, I don't think the rest can even align and things can move forward. So what strategies do you think can be put in place to let people come out, have that confidence again, not lose faith or interest, and believe that their votes can count?
All right, briefly. Another question.
Okay. You have one? That's channel to who? Any of them? Or EROMZ? Okay. All right, your name and your question.
Good afternoon, Aaron. Okay, so my question is, you made mention earlier that the government, like they have accounts of each amount spent. So what happened? Can you hear me? So like they for each amount spent, they will give accounts of it, and if it's not spent well, they will definitely give accounts of it. So what happened in the case of Yaya Bello?
Yaya Bello.
Yes.
Okay.
In the case of Yaya Bello, like you said, each of them will definitely give accounts. You made mention earlier that each of them will give accounts of the amount spent, like they are responsible for it. Like if it's not spent well, they will be punished.
All right, do we have another question so that we can answer everything?
Any other person, please? You have one? Okay. Name and question.
Okay, my name is Joaquin. Well, my question is, recently somebody told me that Tinubu brought the National Assembly with money, and he also brought the judiciary too with money, and is having this issue on, is it still possible for us to get back our government that will be accountable for us? Because if you look at it, even ASUTU is also having issue with federal governments about increasement of salary, and we are not getting anything. But just recently, in less than a year, you have increased the salary of the National Assembly, the judiciary. So what is the strategy you can give youths on how to take back this government from here?
That's a lovely question. One more person. Okay.
2 more questions.
My name is Ayo. My question is, we're talking about local government election, and our goal here is to create awareness so that youths participate in this local government election, because majority of us in Nigeria focus on the federal government election, and a lot of people don't have any concern when it comes to local government election, because normally they don't declare public holiday for that day. People go about their normal work, and the election is going on. Sometimes you don't even know they are voting beside the office because there is no public holiday for that day. And the panel here is for influencer. How do you get these influencers to use their platform to create more awareness on the local government election, particularly as we are going online in Nigeria? If the Gen Z, I can tell you, if you do your research, are not interested in anything election. Majority of the Gen Z, and the population shows that they are more in the voting range. They are not interested. Not to talk of local government election, they are not interested. How do you get them involved? Otherwise, the market women and men will go out and vote, and they are easily influenced by politicians. Take it or leave it. They will be the one, the act will abuse, the one that will vote that day. They know the importance of having their people, their person, being a local government chairman. So they will go out there and vote. And as you say in Mende, that the average, if I say middle class or upper class don't vote, it doesn't apply to Mende alone. Let's say the truth. They apply to a lot of places in Nigeria. They don't vote. Everybody tune on their Go TV and watching DSTV that day during the election. And as you say, a politician is saying 4 people tweeting. It is true. I will do statistics where I stay in my own flat during the last election. There are 6 flats. I'm the only one that votes. And everybody is there. They're watching TV and they will tweet. The politicians understand this psychology very more than we. They know people can shout on social media, but they are not voting. So how do we get influencers to use their platform so that they can create more awareness about local government elections, so that the Gen Z that follow them can go out and vote?
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, that was a lengthy question. Please keep it brief. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good afternoon,
ADENE,
everybody.
also known as
Excel. And there are a lot of problems, right? Well, I just want to speak particularly to the issue Madam raised about how do we know about all these town hall meeting and everything happening in our politics, so to say. And the response EROM gives captured it though, but then I just want us to expand that particular issue, because I believe that what we are doing as young people, this is one of the major aspects of it, in terms of getting involved in our politics that affect all of us. And when you speak to going into grassroots where we can get this information, then there is another aspect of it that we must now emphasize on. After getting that information, what are we doing with it, right? Because some 2-3 years ago, there was this public hearing on social media bill that was done at Marriott Hotel, LGRA Keja. That information was not out there. But another thing that we can also do to get all this information is to belong to a political party, right? If you can't join these legacy parties, let's form our own parties. There are other small parties that we can also join full of young people. So most of these informations, they will always come to IPAC, and from IPAC, political parties get these informations. And when you belong to political parties, you get that information too. And this is how we get our own information. So what happened is now that after getting this information, we'll go to these public, so to say, public hearings, because we're supposed to be there. And what happened when you get there is that, they don't want you to be there, these people, because they know that what they want to do doesn't serve your interest, so they don't want you to be there. So when you get there, and this is also the major reason why the information was not even out there to start with, because they don't want you
to be there.
Right, they don't want you to be there. So when you get there, because and I'm giving 2 instances now. The social media bill that year, when we got there, the first lady was there. She was a senator then. She was actually moderating, and she specifically told the DSS guys at ASPO that they should not allow us to enter that hall that day.
Okay.
Until we protested it. We were just about 10 of us, and we protested it. They are only allowing APC members to enter.
So basically,
for an event they called public hearing. And another one happened just 2-3 days ago on Monday. It was about this local government that we are talking about, the local government autonomous bill. Most people don't know that Lagos State, they are trying to overturn that Supreme Court judgment just so that they can still keep local government, status quo can still be remained at local government this thing. But what happened was that, when we got there, it was just about 5 of us. We got this information through our party as well. And we realized that we're the only party there as outside APC at that public hearing. And when they noticed that we were there, because automatically they didn't plan to do anything, but they kept us sitting for more than 4 hours. Nothing was happening. It was when we started protesting again, they released the documents, the proposed amendment to us, and we went through it. But at the end of the day, nothing happened. They had adjourned our sitting again. So I said that to say that, when we start getting this information, we must know what to do with that information. We must be storming all these places in our numbers. And I think this is one of those things that ADENE can also start doing properly, massifying those places, mobilizing people to those places. Like this local government autonomy bill now, I think another hearing coming up in the next 2 weeks. ADENE can also mobilize young people to go to these places.
Yes, thank you
These
so
are the
much.
things we can be doing. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much.
These are very lengthy questions.
Yes.
You're answering them now, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, all the questions are. So I will just brief you. We would. So it's easier for us to do a lot of things when young people volunteer. It's easier for us to do a lot of things when young people volunteer. That's for the last question. If we have people who keep volunteering across states, I think we have a volunteer strength of, as at the last election, we had a volunteer strength of about 300 people, active plus inactive members. If we can get everyone to understand the role they play, we are good to go. So we'll work towards that. You have my word for it. Then the second to last question, how do influencers use their platforms? First of all, I'm not trying to sound cliche, but everyone here is an influencer. You know, like I mentioned, if you are waiting for people with hundreds of thousands of followers or millions of followers to tweet, they will not. Because that's probably the only way they are eating. And if you get to a situation where it's easy to pinpoint influencers that are speaking up against the government, right? They're speaking about the governance and then close their accounts. Influencers will not post anything. But if everyone is actively doing that, I as a person, I mentioned something I don't like to see myself as an influencer. And that's because when I lost my Instagram handle, the first Instagram that had a history, I wasn't scared. Because I know that I have the capacity. I need to be creative, I need to bring value, and followers will come. My Gen Z team forced me to make all those videos that I did 2 weeks ago so that young people register. And they registered. Everybody needs to understand that in that of fact that I was only about 60 people that made the influencer to get them out of vote. When I was voting during the last elections, I stayed at my voting polling units from beginning to the end. Only one more person stayed because it's something. I stayed till the end, I know this going to happen. And when I saw foul play, I stood up, they didn't know me. Those people are on social media. But I get people not dead, online and offline. And I insisted no counting will start until people come. I'm not going to say the place, but I was really close to the express where anybody could enter and do nonsense. But what you are saying now is not nonsense. So what more nonsense can you do? So everyone needs to understand that we are all influencers. If influencers choose to use their platform or not, no problem. We are good. And let's take from the last election, this is the last time I'm going to make for that question. But for the last election, I'm not trying to promote anybody on this platform, but I'm trying to make you see an example. When PO was running, he did not pay influencers. His work spoke for him. And everybody became an influencer because of him. Do you know how much was saved on media? If you had to pay influencers that were tweeting every day for months, do you know how much you would have spent? Billions of naira. But everybody decided to say, okay, you know what, I believe in this man, I believe in his vision, I'm going to speak for him. And that was it. So if we can replicate this across the country, across our various places, the results will be amazing. I can only do so much. When we started, I mentioned that it takes an average of 2 minutes for us to make a video. If you want to release 1 hour of information, it takes us 13 videos, 1 month. We are posting every day. That's 1 month. There's only so much I can do. But if I have 5 other people, 10 other people that are doing this every day, it's easier. They are posting on their social media platforms, that are posting and all of that. And the last one I want to say is structure and network. People that are doing it, support them. Don't wait until your faith does it. If you see a small handle that is doing those things, support them, retweet it, share it, support financially. Because it's not a bed, we use the rent camera. We pay money to rent the camera and we're using to shoot content. So what strategy can we use to take back power? I think I've already answered this, but I'll say it again. We need to start attending board meetings, start from the grassroots. Don't wait until 2026. Okay, I'm going to use this to answer the last 2 questions. Oh, okay, there's still one more. Don't wait till 2026. And also, wait, before I would say that, we need to change our mindsets. When people tell me 2023 election was a loss, they don't get it. We won. I'm not saying the candidates won, though. I'm saying youth, we won. For the first time in Nigeria, we shook powers that be. They were scared. They were like, what's going on? From 4 people in a room till election, no server. If it was 4 people in a room and they were complete 4 people in a room, the server would have been up. If they were so sure that these people they vote, nothing will happen, the server would have been up. The youth candidates did not win the election, I mean, no problem, they still won. Across different states, there were parties or candidates of parties that have never won an election before that were winning the election. Not just Labour Party. That is a win. It's not until the preferred candidate becomes the president that you say you won. We won this election with a landslide. I'm not going to English like that. I like how I'm teaching. We won this effortlessly. If it's House of Rep, new people were there, young people were there. Senate, young people are currently there. Yes. Governor, I think, okay, maybe only one state. But when has that happened before? It's not until the president, your candidate becomes the president that you think that you won. We won. And if you have that mindset, that's why after everything that happened in the last election, we had structures in 8 states, over 300 volunteers. If I felt like we lost, I wouldn't be doing this. My also volunteers wouldn't be here. But we know the effect of what we did. So please, change your mindset that we lost. So how can we set up structure to take back power? We have already started. Maintain it. Maintain the momentum. That's it. Whatever it is you're doing now, keep sharing content, keep sensitizing people. If you do not have access to information, you can come on my page. All the information I have is free. Learn it, watch the video, share it, and go and teach people. I know a couple of people that have reached out to me that tell your video about 100 million. I told this person, they started shouting. Now they are paying attention to the local government chairman. That's it. And that way you too have become an influencer. So I think I've answered the questions already. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're going to say a few things on the questions that we asked. So, yes, you can please go on.
I think the question around what we can do and the strategies is to really hone the power of the media. And a lot of times we think the media is just social media, but there's also TV. And you'll be surprised how far TV goes. There's also radio, and then you have print. A lot of times, there are people in the grassroots that consume this media. So, for example, there are some Sundays where I host Robin Minds on Channels Television. There are young people who are beyond Lagos. That maybe social media, their bandwidth is in there, but they're able to consume that content. And I know that because yesterday I just said, let me go to Facebook, and I saw messages as far back as 2018, 2019. So when there are opportunities, some of us in the line of the work we do, we are candidates to be guests on TV or on radio, or to have our views printed in the newspaper. Let us leverage that. Because when that mandate thing happened, I was literally crying. It was a shock. My husband wasn't around. He had traveled with my daughter out of the country. It was myself, my son, my sister-in-law, and our nanny. And this just caught us by surprise. And all I could do was just cry. And after a while, I was like, you know what? I've cried. But what next? I saw that Arise TV was there, and I saw LTV was there. I spoke to LTV. I spoke to Arise TV. The interview on LTV went up. It was posted. Within hours, it was taken down. That shows that there's power. People are watching. That TV that you think, oh, nobody's watching, there's a YouTube channel and people are consuming that content. Arise TV, people watched it, they didn't take it down. And people started reaching out to me. And my friends in the media said, okay, do you want to come and speak to us in News Central? Do you want to come and speak to us? And before you knew it, even JRV, because I've interviewed JRV years ago when he was still running for Senate, not even for governor. He just started, picking up a lot of interest without me even doing so much. The media crews were now coming on their own to come and do their investigation, and it even forced the Honorable Commissioner to start
granting interviews and all. And someone asked me, why did I speak out? I spoke out not because I wanted to raise money, which I needed, but I spoke out because this thing has been happening in Lagos, but people are not speaking out about it. And imagine, for me, it's a demolition that happened to me. I know of people that it has happened to, but rather than speak out, maybe fear of, what will people say? I don't want my business out there. Everybody will now know. People were not speaking out. But as I spoke out, I found out about more things. So there might be other things that you are going through that has affected you. So it has pressed your neck so much. And the only thing you can do is that voice, because they can't take away your voice. And when you speak out, what it does is it encourages other people who have gone through similar situations, if not worse, to speak out. And before you know it, it's a ripple effect. So that speaking out, it might be from a place of, oh, this is a problem I went through. But it could also be from a place of, this is the information I have. I have this information, I've come here today. Who can I share this information to? For me, one of the takeaways from this session is whether whichever party I decide, whether it's APC or PDP, one way or the other, I must join one party. It has come to that because maybe before these elections, we thought we were resilient people. But I ask myself, when does the price of petrol go down? When does it stop going up? And we can go on and on about the problem. So I think if we commit to one, using our voices, online and offline, going back to tell people that, okay, this person, it has happened to her, and I know her, so I know she's saying the truth. If it can happen to me, and as an MC or as a broadcaster, I've MC Lagos government events, so it's not like, oh, I'm unknown to this government. If you want to use it like that. But I know people in the government that can talk like this, but it still happened to me. So that means it can happen to anybody. Nigeria can happen to you. So at this point, we need to start asking ourselves, what can I do for myself and for my children? Because enough is enough, really. And if that little thing you can do is using your voice to tell people. For me, once I started seeing the videos, you can ask him, I share these videos back to back. I share the flyers back to back. I find ways, okay, how can I be a part of this thing? And once we do that, another person will be able to drag them and say, okay, this is what they are doing. You cannot come physically, send your money. You cannot come physically, share the flyer, tell somebody, and before you know it, we will become a force and have that momentum. And if we have our numbers, trust me, we cannot be ignored. Because for me, I'm just one person, and I'm not even an influencer. How many followers do I have? But because I chose to speak on camera, it generated so much buzz that at a point we're like, hey, let them not come and target us. But it achieved what it is, which is to speak up and let people know that we might not be able to do more than speaking up, but we're watching you. We are your accountability partners. Imagine if everybody whose house was demolished, starting from last year, had spoken up. Trust me, things would have changed. And I know that after that demolition happened, the Honorable Commissioner will go on his social media and say, at the expiration of 48 hours, meaning that 48 hours were given. Imagine if I had 48 hours from last Saturday. I know the amount of things that I would have been able to do. But the things that would have not gotten lost, the things that would have not been pilfered. So in that is just speaking out. If the only thing that I've achieved is creating awareness that this is happening and putting some kind of fear of God in the Honorable Commissioner that and other people are not talking, this person has spoken. Let us start giving 48 hours. That is a win. And I think that's your point about the fact that you see more young people aware, more young people coming out is a win. For me, I want to see more women coming out. I want to see more young people. I want to see people living with disabilities because we need inclusion and that diversity. And it starts from us young people carrying this matter on our head. If you can carry reality TV shows on our head and ensure that people vote, we can carry it with the same energy, and Gen Z, trust me, they will vote. We just need to appeal to them and let them see that all these things affect us. By the time price of data goes up and they're looking for money to be able to charge their phones, run their gen, nobody will tell them. They will start asking, okay, who are the people that are involved? What do we need to do? And I think that's it. We just need to keep speaking up. You don't know who is going to hear it and the change that is going to happen.
All right, thank you so much, Isabella. That was really amazing. Okay.
Okay, so sorry. Yes, in the next session you'll get the opportunity to ask more questions. Okay, yes, so we have so many other things to do, so yeah. As the program progresses, you can ask or make comments that you want to make. Alright guys, so basically to crown this particular panel session off, from what you have said, Nigeria does not have to happen to you before you come out to speak. You can start now. Feel the pain of other people and also come out to speak before it happens to you. It does not have to get to the point where you are the one that is now affected before you now finally get your voice. You can start now so it does not happen to you, it does not happen to your children, it does not happen to your family members and people around you basically. With that, we are concluding this session. Thank you so much, Isabella, and thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. That was our panel discussion in the first session. At this point, we can have a very brief break, network, and light refreshments. Thank you.